Hey there, hi, welcome to the channel. I am Garrett, and in today's video, not only am I the judge, I am also the jury, and this interior design should be illegal, so let's avoid jail time. Now, the first thing we have to talk about, the first thing that should be illegal is the home office chic, the break room aesthetic. I've talked about this before, and I will talk about it again because some of the girls in the back have not heard me. Your home does not need to look like a cubicle. It does not need to give break room energy. Okay, I wanna know, is this your living room or is this the waiting room at the dentist? Your house does not have to look like an office space. It doesn't have to. It should be personal. It should have some detail in it. Like there should be some character. It should say something about you. And I love that you took advantage of the going out of business sale that the office had when you bought all that furniture. But there is a fine line between your style, your aesthetic, and having something that's modern or minimal and it looking like the office you work out of. Now I know that with recent changes and things happening in the world or whatever, that a lot of people are working from home, and I also love that for you, but I think you're taking it a little too far having your home workspace look like your at workspace. I think there needs to be some definition there, and you know, we need to separate, have a good work-life balance, darling. So let's elevate what is happening here. And I think a lot of these spaces could use, you know, some accent pillows, a little bit of artwork, some rugs, and they would start to feel a little bit more like people actually live there, not that people work there or are, you know, microwaving the enchilada they brought from home for work, for lunch or whatever. Like, ew. We don't need to have that. And I love those of you that work from home, but you need to have a dedicated workspace. I think that's important to have work-life balance, you know, have that tucked away or have something that you can close up. You know, I love secretary desks. That's perfect for a home workspace. Or, you know, some of my clients have like cabinets that they'll store all of their office equipment, their printers in and that stuff, and they can close it up when they're in their dining room, their living room, whatever. That's perfect. And I love for those of you who have the ability to have a dedicated workspace, like you have a home office, you have a specific area that you can close the door and leave it where it is, but not everybody has that. So you have to be creative and, you know, give your home the organization, the separation it needs. But I think there's a big difference between working from home and having a home office and your house looking like your actual office space. It's not a cubicle. It doesn't need to have that energy. It does not need to be like, is this the bedroom or are we going to the HR department? Don't give us that fantasy. Give us home, give us detail, give us interest. There's nothing wrong with mixing some really cool, interesting, chic, modern pieces with something that has a little bit of a traditional flair to it. That's an easy way to instantly make your space not feel like you work there, but like you actually live there. And if you want to avoid jail time and not have me come for you, I would also like to suggest or recommend, put out there that you can always have a one-on-one consultation with me to answer any and all of your design and decorating needs using the link in the description box down below or going to intro.co/GarrettLeChic. Some form of design that should be illegal because it is a personal attack on me at this point, and I don't know what I did to you, but clearly it was something, is pillows turned on their corner. I don't like that because it doesn't look good. It looks weird to me. Why are the pillows on their corners? I have spoken about this numerous times, and the girls are still coming for me. You're still doing it, and I just don't understand. Like, this is not a timeshare in Florida. Like, we can move past that. And I do think this actually looks cool in kind of like a cultural way. Like if you're giving me that Middle Eastern fantasy, like, okay, I can handle that. I like it, but no, not for everybody. Does not need to happen. And I know some of you are gonna sit there and give your husband side eyes because they're the ones that do it. Okay, my husband does it to antagonize me, but that's literally the point of being married, right? I love that for us, but do not put those pillows on their corners. Do not let me catch them on their corners because, honey, I may or may not be packing handcuffs on me at all times and you will be sentenced. I don't like pillows on their corners because it makes no sense. They're like, the structure of the pillow cannot even sit on its corner. So it's just like resting there on the back of the chair, the sofa, the bed, whatever. It doesn't make sense to me. I think you don't have to be overdramatic. It doesn't have to be a major thing. Like, I don't get the pillow obsession personally. Like, as an interior decorator, like, that's what I do. I pick out pillows and I pick out, you know, sofas and upholstery and all of that stuff. It doesn't have to be that dramatic. You don't need to have 15 or 20 pillows. Like, literally in my house, throw pillows, I probably have 5, maybe 6. That's it in my entire house, every room. Like, this room has one accent pillow. Like, that's it. We don't need any more. It doesn't have to be over the top dramatic. Like, you don't need to have that many, and especially not on their corners. Oh, the attack on me is personal, and I don't, like I said, I don't know what I did to you. I don't know how well, I probably know what I did to you and how I came for you, but that's not the point. Using a throw pillow is as simple as one or two of them, different shapes, different sizes. I personally am obsessed with a lumbar pillow. That's my favorite. I think the proportions add a very linear feel to a space, so that's what I like. Or, you know, an 18 by 18, 20 by 20 is as big as I think you should go for an accent pillow. And I think it depends on the type of sofa you have or the chair it's going on. So one great pillow is easy. You know, I'm always pulling out this pillow I have here in this office because I love it. This is a Kelly Wearstler fabric, but it's double-sided. Give it to me double-sided. Instead of getting 10 throw pillows, get me one double-sided pillow. That says luxury to me. It says like we actually live here. It's a one comfortable pillow. Actually, I'm gonna put this right behind me here. And love that fantasy for me. That's what a throw pillow is about. It's about adding a little comfort, adding a little cushion. Don't give me some like cheap, disgusting filled pillow. Like, I don't like that. It needs to be fluffy. It needs to be light. It doesn't need to be over chopped. It doesn't need to look like it's been sat on. So you don't have to be super dramatic. Do not chop the pillow. It can just be sat there on its side. It is like a square. It's, you know, a rectangular shape. Just set it there. Give it a little bit of fluff. I have a signature chop movement. First you hit it with the top chop, then the double side chop, so that it's fluffed, it's plump, it's light, but it doesn't look like it's staged. It doesn't look ridiculous, and people aren't afraid to sit there and lay back on the pillow. Now, sweetheart, if you have made it this far in this video, I know that you are liking what you are seeing and hearing because I am always 100% accurate and correct, which is why, if you haven't already, I don't know what's going on, but you should rectify it. Hit the subscribe button, join us, become a part of the LeChic family, and give this video a like. I would greatly appreciate it. Another form of design that should be illegal, and I have decided is, I will report you if necessary, is department store art. Not every store has to sell every single thing, okay? We don't need to have the store that it's like, we offer every single solitary thing, one-stop shopping you need for your home. I don't wanna get art the same place I get milk. I think that's weird. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think anyone needs it. Maybe like a little sculptural wall piece moment type thing. That's okay, that's cool. You know, maybe get some like fake little vintage pot or something like that. Great, but you don't have to get every piece of furniture, every accessory, every decor, everything from one store. Department store art usually is not created by actual artists. It's kind of like something that was like offered on, you know, some like site you can just print stuff off of whatever and put in a frame, and that's that. Frames from department stores I think are great. You want to get a little picture frame, get a frame for a wall, a piece of art that you actually have, wonderful. I completely respect the affordability factor. Original artwork is expensive, okay? It's not cheap. I don't think it should be. I think artists took their time to create that, and there's so much love and detail put into that, and it really should be respected and appreciated. But a lot of those same artists offer print versions of that original artwork, and you can get that very affordably and support a small artist. Get something that not everybody has, that wasn't just a part of the latest drop from some collection that this department store has, and it's not generic, it's not basic, it's not simple, it's not bad. I think that is a better way to go about art. And you can get art from more famous artists, and you can kind of mix that together. I don't specifically limit myself to what I'll bring into my home. If I like a piece of artwork, I like it and I think it's good, but I'm not gonna sit there and be like, let's go down the artwork department at the grocery store. Like, ooh, it's a little much for me. I don't personally like that. Actually, I don't shop at like a major department store anyway for my groceries. Like, I go to an actual grocery store that sells groceries. Like, maybe they'll have candles or something like that, but they don't have artwork there. Go to art fairs, and a lot of times art schools, if you have one near you, will have exhibitions where you can meet young and talented artists, and you can shop online. I love Etsy. That's one of my favorite places to find artwork. So go and check that out. You can find original pieces or recreations of original artwork from unknown artists or people who are just small creators. I think that's really great. Department store art, illegal, does not have to be in your home, should not be. And I get every once in a while, it's like, that's my favorite print. Okay, but then go and get that from the museum that has that piece of artwork there to support that museum then. Don't just be like, oh, I'm gonna get the print from, you know, like the grocery store while I'm picking up a bag of Cheetos or something like that. And hey, maybe some people will be like, oh, it's kind of tacky you have that, but like, obviously you don't have a Van Gogh or a Degas hanging on your wall, okay? Like, you're not fooling anybody there, but you know, if you want that piece, if you really like that, you want to see it, that's great. I actually have a Degas on my frame TV. I love that. And it's a really beautiful piece moment. I got the download off of Etsy, which I think is really great. You know, like there's lots of cool artwork for a frame TV there if you have one. So be sure you check that out too. I think there's good ways to get artwork for your home that's not just through a department store, that's not generic, because at the end of the day, everybody that shops at that store probably has that same piece of artwork. So like it's you and plus 20 other people in your neighborhood or whatever. You don't need that fantasy in your life. So be on the lookout for what is out there. What do you really like? Find something that's interesting and personal to you and go look that up, research it online. Like I said, go to art fairs, support local artists and talent. I love that for you. I love that for me. And I love that for the artists too, because that department store artwork should be illegal, darling. And if you don't want a life sentence, I suggest you avoid it. The next design, the next interior design issue, thing, problem, whatever that should be illegal, and in my books are the Spaceship Interiors. I don't like it. I don't like it. You know what it is. You know what it looks like. It's like, it's not futuristic. It's not, I don't know what to call this. It's like a take on modern that looks like it's from a spaceship. Like, it doesn't look good and I don't like it. It should be illegal, and it's not inexpensive either. A lot of these pieces of furniture, not only do they have cup holders, which is an entirely another topic for another video, they usually have like LED lights and they have really interesting structure to them that is not cheap to do or to create, but it doesn't look good. Now this style of furniture is definitely a take on like futuristic furniture pieces from like the 60s and contemporary design, but it's just not done well. And what I will say is that sometimes the wheel doesn't have to be reinvented. If I went into someone's house that had this, because I am a polite person, contrary to popular belief, I would sit there and I would say like, oh, you know what, it looks so cool in here. It is so cool and very different. I've never seen anything like this. And that's not positive, okay? That's me being nice and polite because that's who I am as a person, but not because it looks good. You can do something really cool that does look good. Futuristic design, or like futurism, is a take on mid-century, and it was popularized like during the 1960s, very like the Jetsons. There's some really cool pieces with interesting shapes there. That combined with contemporary design can be very chic, can be very interesting. It can feel warm, inviting, and layered, but very cool at the same time. Cool in a good way, not in the spaceship interior kind of a way. And I don't want people commenting and asking how I know what the inside of spaceships look like. I have never been abducted, and I do live near Area 51, but like by near I mean in Nevada, not like near. I don't live on the outskirts of town or anything like that, which, but you know, I know what a spaceship looks like because I have seen Star Trek, and this isn't even giving Star Trek tea. It's giving like the knockoff movie of it. I don't like that. So I don't like the spaceship interiors. I think you can do something that looks so much better and is actually less expensive and more detailed than this situation. And honey, I might not need to send you to jail, because if you're getting abducted by the aliens, then that's an entirely different thing you need to discuss and whatever. And I mean, like, hey, you know, like, you want to get abducted, you want to get probed, that's up to you, honey. The next interior design that I have decided is illegal are the all gray interiors. Now, I love the color gray. It's actually one of the best colors out there. It's not actually a color. Like white, black, and gray are shades, tints, and tones, but that's, you know, once again, a topic for another video, not the point. But I love gray. It can be used in a number of ways and look really beautiful, but an all gray interior where it's like all cool toned gray, like, ugh, I don't like that. I don't like the gray floors. I don't like all of that. But the good thing is, if you have gray in your home, you can make it work. I'm not that person that's like, oh, you have gray floors, you need to rip them out. Like, that's just not in everybody's budget. Like, not everybody can do that. So how you make gray work for you is you turn it into an accent. Contrast that with warm tones. Like gray and camel is the perfect combination, the perfect color combination, because you get so much great contrast. And gray actually has a lot of warmth in it. If you juxtapose it with warm tones, it will pull that out of it. So it can be used really beautifully, whether that's like a charcoal gray, a light gray. The only time it doesn't have a warm tone in it is if it's like a blue gray, and you don't want that. So you can use gray in a space and make it look beautiful, but an all gray interior, I don't know, it's kind of depressing. It's not really the vibe. It gives me like I can't even say that. I was gonna say it gives me like men's tailoring vibe, like where you go into a store and it's like all gray suits, but that's actually kind of cool and looks good, not these gray interiors. There is something you can do with it, and you can make gray look really good, but you have to be very careful about how you go about doing it. Do not put gray floors into your home, okay? It is very trend driven, and you know I'm kind of wary of that. Some trends are good. This is not one of them. I love those of you that love gray. Like, there are so many people out there that really do, and I have love and respect for you. But everything all gray doesn't always look good, and it's hard to do right. So contrasting that with some warmth instantly makes it feel actually very luxurious, very expensive and beautiful, designed, thoughtful, and I think that's really great. Look for browns, camels, tan tones to layer in, and multiple gray tones together also. Like I said, get a charcoal gray, get a brown gray, a taupey gray, and layer those together to pull the warm tones out, and then it instantly looks and feels more luxurious. There's nothing wrong with having gray everything, you know, gray walls, gray floors, gray furniture. It's just about the types of gray and the way it's layered together, and the accent colors you bring into the space bring some warmth into it, and it's beautiful. Don't give me all gray everything though, honey, because honey, the sentence is coming through, okay? You want jail time, you want solitary confinement, honey, because that's what you're giving yourself with this all gray interior. Some of you will say, Garrett, those things are not illegal and they shouldn't be, they're just design mistakes, and I disagree. But if you do think they're mistakes, then you probably should check out this video right over here all about other interior design mistakes that need to go and what you should do instead. I will see you over there.